Isn't ginger beer a Yorkshire?
It was invented in
supposedly?
Yorkshire.
1700s?
1700s. Basically, it started when like the spice trail was prominent, and they'd bring spices and other things from the east, and they would import ginger from China, and they'd sell it at the docks. And whatever was left over, they'd fill the barrels with water and sugar cane and lemons, let it wild ferment, and then they'd sell it to pubs. And that, like, ginger beer was the staple alcoholic drink in every pub in England for about 150 years.
Oh.
It's only when it went over to America when Prohibition came about that then the Americans turned it into a soft drink. After then, Coca-Cola dominated the market and ginger beer just kind of fell off the side. But in its original form, the OGB is the original alcoholic ginger beer that, like, your ancestors would have been drinking about 400 years ago.
Well, I'm going to crack some OGB then, motherfucker, and you can carry on telling us about the fermentation aspect of things. I'm super curious, because when you say sugar, lemon, and ginger, and then it just does its thing and creates the alcohol, would there be any other aspect that would be needed in that situation, or could you technically create alcohol from that and time?
Yeah, you could just any sugar in any form, fructose, sucrose, any form that sugar can be utilised, yeast will find a way. Like
just in the atmosphere a lot of the time. Yep, as well. Yeah,
quite easily. Like, people have been brewing booze for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and they've been doing it quite easily without. 40 barrel breweries, and there's massive manufacturing industrial sites. For plenty of time, people would just water, sugar, wild yeast, let it do its thing. In essence, that's what yeast does. It eats sugar and it shits out ethanol. Yeah. The side product you should have with CO2.
I should have a sip of the OGB.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, there's a little bit more of a sharpness there that you didn't get with the Henwin.
No, it's there's
so
again
the rhubarb masks that.
The rhubarb has OGB's wonderful because it is as simplistically simple as it gets.
Yeah,
it is just you've got molasses in there, you've got lemons, you've got ginger, and that is literally your flavour profile. Just a bit of acidity, a bit of tannins, a little bit of molasses, and just ginger. There's nowhere to hide with it.
You'd said with when you were making the is it Dean of the Dead? Tales from the Crypt beer, the pineapple and Carolina Reaper peppers. You'd said with that beer, deferring. No, it's a beer. My brain is just so frazzled right now with how to talk on this stuff.
They are all technically beers. They're all ginger beers.
Yeah,
ginger beer is what it is.
With that one, you'd said that the pineapple kind of aspect of it kind of made up the sugar contingent, so you didn't have to add in as much.
We didn't add as much, because every recipe has a different sugar ratio content depending on what
the sugar content,
what the fruit is,
the adjunct.
There are some things that have more of a fruit content than others. Whether it could be just like with the Carolina Reaper and pineapple, because we use about 300 litres of pineapple juice in a normal brew. It takes the ABV like 2/3 of the way there already. So you're just topping it up.
Yeah.
But then other things like the Henwen, which the rhubarb doesn't have as much sugar content as normal, but it is there.
Yeah.
Because everything has sugar in one way or another.
So with the OGB, you've added in, as you say, molasses. Is that something you look to do to include a natural element so you don't have to entirely rely on just straight up sugar?
We do it because it was part of the original recipe.
Okay.
They would use bootstrap molasses. Bootstrap. So it's like kind of the left. So when they'd make molasses, it would be normally what was left over at the bottom of the barrel.
Let's rewind it a bit because I'm a bit tup. What are molasses?
Molasses is. So when you make, when they refine sugar and it's reduced down, it's like kind of the slurry that you get at the bottom of it.
Okay.
It's like the leftovers.
Yeah.
But that was what bootstrap was in its original form. It was just like the original version of treacle.
Yeah.
But
so it's like
molasses has been
nose to tail from the sugar industry.
DMC family, ginger beer and a goddamn party. life is hardy. Together we are stronger, bound tighter than the rails. With every sip of ginger, we're telling our own tales.